TV.
Hello and welcome back to the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships Division 2 2018. We are here in beautiful Nelson Bay. The weather has taken a bit of a turn and it's looking pretty gusty. What do you reckon we can expect from this matchup, Max?
Well, it'll be a tasty one for sure. As tasty as raspberry shortcake, if you ask me. It's second in the pool, Wagon Wheels, against third in their pool, Disgraceful from Perth. So it's a cross-country matchup, West Coast versus East Coast. And what's interesting is Wagon Wheels are coming off the back of a pretty convincing loss to F Group. They got knocked around a little bit. They lost 9-4 in that previous match, so they'll have to recover. I don't know, maybe they weren't taking that one, you know, quite as seriously. They were going a little easy, but they'll definitely have to find another level if they want to challenge the team out of Perth. It's worth noting this, of course, is a pre-quarter final. So the winner of this, into quarters tomorrow morning. It's the knockout stages of the tournament now. There's no second chances, no opportunities to recover from a loss. It's do or die every game. And we'll see who does the doing, and we'll see who does the dying.
High stakes.
I saw a bit of Wagon Wheels in the last game, and just generally speaking, their style looked to be to kind of keep the tempo slow and bang it long. They just like to chip it around, take their time, and then shoot it long. And they played a lot of zone on defense. So we'll see where they do the same. The wind that was a big factor last game has just died down a little bit. So pretty still conditions for now. But, you know, it's Nelson Bay. The weather's pretty changeable. You never know what's going to happen. And just as I say that, it starts to pick up a bit again. It's coming towards the camera. So a crosswind for these players. Disgraceful are led by the indomitable John Damiani. He's a veteran of the sport and a veteran of the Perth scene in particular. He's been a driving force in Ultimate in Western Australia for many years. And he's a cabinet maker by trade. And he uses those strong hands to great effect. If you've ever had the pleasure of shaking hands with John Damiani, with JD as they call him, you will have noticed the vice-like grip that he possesses on his right hand. And it's one of the main reasons that he's such a potent thrower. So expect him to carve through this wind like it's not much. Equally, the Wagon Wheels team with some experience behind the disc as well. Chris Lavis in particular. We were talking about this earlier. He may well be the only player at this tournament to have won a Division 1 national championship. He won with I-Beam back in 2010. It was an incredible feat at the time. They had a roster of 13 players. And I think by the time they got to the final, they were down to 12. So pretty amazing stuff. Obviously, that's a few years removed now, and Chris Lavis is semi-retired. He's a proud father now, so congratulations to him. He's had better things to do in recent years. But local tournaments such as this one, he couldn't resist. We're just waiting for the teams to get their discs. Looks like Wagon Wheels will be starting on defense, and Disgraceful starting on offense, bringing some of that West Coast magic to the fields, getting us all hot and heavy and excited for this match.
The pool goes up. We've got Disgraceful on offense starting off. A few passes before this Newcastle zone can set. Not much happening so far. Goes to Lim. Working it through now. There's the big put. It's sailing away in the wind, but there's the goal. Matthew Streetfield putting one on the board for Graceful.
Yeah, they make that look easy. Through the hands, not much pressure applied by the Wagon zone, wagon wheel zone. And John Damiani, the one to watch for, shoots long pretty early as expected. A nice inside-out forehand. Hits his man on the chest. Seen a lot of players struggle in this wind. Not JD. He knows how to throw. So that's a downwinder though. The wind is towards the camera and a little right to left. And it's early days yet. I know a number of teams have been taking advantage of the nice long lunch breaks this tournament to head down to the beach. These field complex only a couple of 100 metres from the water. So we're very happy about that and players taking advantage of it. I didn't manage to sneak down at lunch. I don't know about you, Erin. Did you get down to the beach?
I certainly didn't, but I've heard the water's very cold.
Oh, really?
A bit of a recovery ice bath, perhaps.
That's the trick. It's a long tournament, 3 days. It's longer than most, and you know, most teams playing 3 or even 4 games a day, they'd be feeling it in their legs by now. Newcastle on offense. Move it to the near side. You might find Miriam Dalleywater. Back. Trying to centre that. But Howarth can't hold on. It just bobbles through the hands. Damiani wants to shoot quickly. Looking to Streetfield again. Apologies, that's C. Rentan.
He's happy about that one.
He's got some pace on him. Damiani likes the look of that long shot. 2 quick ones on the board for Graceful. And this game is starting how the last one finished for Wagon Wheels. Not very well.
2 goals this game, both thrown by Damiani, showing that he can throw both downwind and upwind.
This is the pre-quarter final round. There's another couple of pre-quarter finals happening at the fields at the moment as teams vie off for an opportunity to play the quarterfinal tomorrow morning. Graceful getting off to a great start. 2-0 up. They'll have to play a bit of defense though.
Let's see if Newcastle can find their feet on this point. Oh, the pull goes up. That's Daniel Chang. Bit of quick movement through the middle. I think that they've gone with the zone again. Graceful put that zone on again, but Newcastle getting a few passes off. That's Nathan Innes with the disc. Oh, big bid there. But Newcastle keep possession. Opting to go back. Just moving it through the handlers at this point. Not much in the way of deep looks. And it goes through the middle again, using his height. Nathan Innes gets it again, keeping it central. Nice high grab there by McCarthy. Looking for Innes again.
A little lefty backhand from Innes.
Oh, a few bobbles, but he keeps the disc. Katie Lavis getting every second pass. Spreading to the sideline now. Just working it up. Innes in the area again, gets a little pop over. Back to Lavis. Looking to put it through the cup, still working it through those handlers. Looking pretty calm and in control of this offense, but not making meters particularly quickly. Back to Lavis, swings it across. Through the middle now, getting a few. Off to the races. Still working through that cup. And there's the goal. What patient offense that was from Newcastle.
Yeah, really running a clinic on how to bide your time and wait for the options to present themselves and not force anything. Chris Lavis eventually finds Robbie Picalis, the captain of this team, in the end zone. But great credit to that whole back three of Katie and Chris Lavis and Nathan Innes doing a beautiful job. I was very impressed when Innes threw a high-release lefty backhand, but then I just realised he's just a lefty, so I'm not that impressed anymore.
Don't get too excited, just a backhand.
Yeah, once he starts throwing righties, that's when we'll get excited.
Yeah, Innes definitely someone to watch in this game. He has recently represented Australia for Thunder, the under-18s men's team.
Brings that big game experience to this do-or-die pre-quarter at Division 2 Mixed Nationals. This coverage is brought to you by the Port Stephens Council. We thank them for their support. And also Ultimate Australia, providing the live stream for your pleasure and enjoyment. And geez, what a pleasurable and enjoyable experience it has been. Ryan Black stops that one. Damiani has to work hard, eventually finds the little backhand to Lim. She looks to break the mark. Calls the foul. The size differential between Robbie Picalis and Vivian Lim is pretty drastic. He's well over 6 foot and she's not much more than 5. And her pass backwards is a little too far out in front of Avril Tam. And this is short field option for Wagon Wheels. Disgraceful look to play some defense, but they can't stop. Sturt Wilson finding his man in the end zone, and that's a goal.
I think that ended up being a nice breakthrough. He had to pivot right around Damiani to get it off, but he got there.
And just as quickly as Disgraceful went out to a 2-0 lead, we're back to 2-2. So Wagon Wheels clearly just taking a moment to wake up. They are fully present now, fully engaged and fully conscious. I mentioned Ryan Black, that point from Disgraceful. He's one of the young players who recently got invited to attend the under-24 tryouts in Sydney last weekend. Clearly an up-and-comer who's been raising some eyebrows. And definitely one to watch in this game. He'll often look to start downfield, but he's got a mean flick huck on him. We'll see if he pulls that out at any point.
The pull goes up. It looks like it may not stay in. Oh no, it's good after all. A few quick touches by Disgraceful, moving it nice and fast. Looks off the option. Very fast movement now. We've got Kong with the disc at the moment. Looks to go up and over. Elects not to. Sends it to Loudon. He gets a nice grab there. Chai with the disc. Sends it around. It's up very high. Can't get taken down there by Kong. Newcastle want to huck it, but they decide not to. To Heather. Taking his time. The wind has really picked up in the last 5 seconds, so taking a nice conservative option. There's a big mark. Losing a few meters, but keeping possession in the middle of the field. Nice grab there by Crosby. Looking for options, not much coming. Slices a flick to Bolton. He's looking deep.
He had Lavis in space, but doesn't take it.
Very nice grab there. And she swings it across the field to Heather. He has a go at it. Oh, and just sends it out the sideline. May have gotten there, but couldn't keep it within the field. Disgraceful back on O. Bringing it in on the sideline. Got Damiani with the disc. Puts his hands up. Where are his options? Elects to swing instead. Back to Kong. Nice quick movement. Kong with the give goes with Street Field. This zone has reset. Oh, he popped it through the cup. with a really nice throw to Streetfield, but he just couldn't quite hold on to it.
It was a nice looking throw. He snuck it underneath the cup's arms, but as you say, Streetfield can't provide the catch.
Nice throw to the sideline to Bolton. Keeping it on that sideline, had to toe that one in. Wilson centres it back to Bolton. Losing a few metres now. There's a flick in the wind. That was bold. To Dallywater, she sends it again. And he puts the big flick up. Can she get there? Not quite. A great run by Crosby, but just out of reach. She's looking a bit gassed. Just run the whole field, doesn't even get a goal out of it. Got Newcastle resetting their zone, which has been pretty effective so far. Disgraceful are going to have to really work. So they huck it instead. It's downwind. Not really any receivers within reaching distance of that one.
You know, I think Damiani took a similar approach to the old build it and they will come. It was a case of throw it and they will run.
Yep. Maybe playing for position there. A few under that disc, and it's kept alive by Adams. She's looking for the flick and sends a nice inside pass there. They swing it across to Wilson. Nice low one. And there's the huck again into the end zone. He's got Bolton underneath it. Can it stay in? Bolton gets a huge grab. And Newcastle are up for the first time this game.
They've gone on a 3-0 run here. And Disgraceful, despite looking good out of the gates, haven't been able to string it together since. There are a couple of moments in that point where Disgraceful really had the opportunity for a goal, but they couldn't make it happen. Kong tried to sneak a backhand into the end zone and Streetfield put it down. We get another look at that huck. Bolton had Loud and steaming down behind him, but goes up strong. Important question, Erin. Loudon sporting the little towel hanging out the back of the shorts. What do we think?
I think it's a strong look, and I support it. A bit of Lado vibes.
Yeah, a bit of that, bit of the old yeet action.
Oh, wow! You could say that.
You could.
Oh, wow.
Regardless of what you feel. Actually, no, tell us. If you're watching on the stream, comment what you think about Loudon's choice of fluo orange hand towel hanging out the back of his shorts. As Aaron says, it's definitely a bold choice. Ryan Black picks up, centers the disc, and Daniel Chang stumbles, but the offensive movement hasn't yet. As they move it through the hands of Chang and Black. Expect to see them get a lot of disc at this point as they navigate the cup that Wagon Wheels has put on them. We've got a foul on the throw. It's interesting to see that Damiani isn't starting these points as a handler. He's definitely known to operate out of that position, and it's his preferred spot, having pulled on the green and gold innumerable times in that role. But starting a lot of points for Disgraceful this game downfield before coming back into that handler space and providing the firepower when needed. Daniel Chang will sort out his shoes, take advantage of the stoppage, and I'm sure play will get restarted soon. Ryan Black won't get the disc back. It'll stay with Damiani. Wilson puts on the mark. Damiani sneaks one out to Chang, as you'd expect from a thrower of his caliber. Moves it quickly through the hands. Metelkova to Damiani. They're approaching the end zone. The question is, can they be patient? Damiani doesn't think so as he points to the end zone, tries to shoot one.
I think that was a hand block there.
I think it was. Sturt Wilson sticks out the left paw. Says no thank you. Chang puts a mark on Howarth. To Wilson, back to Howarth. With momentum, but the throw doesn't come from it. Just working up line. Cramming it down this near side. Gets another one. Wagon Wheels just shy of the end zone. Howarth flips that one to Kaya Salia. She scored a bucket of goals last game. And she gets a few more here, and that's a timeout call from Disgraceful.
Probably a good call from them. Newcastle are absolutely on fire. They have just scored 4 in a row from 2-0 down. That's got to hurt Disgraceful a little bit.
Yeah, they were slow to get going, but once they found their rhythm, their pace, Wagon Wheels just rolling that wagon down the hill just a little bit further towards their ultimate goal of glory tomorrow afternoon.
Another look at that goal. Oh, almost too easy.
Disgraceful or there or thereabouts defensively. They're putting the pressure on, but so far Wagon Wheels have been pretty comfortable at squeezing it in when they had to and taking the easy options when they were there. And you can see some of our younger supporters really embracing our sponsors here at the Australian Ultimate Championships. We love their enthusiasm for Ultimate Australia, recognising the importance of good governance in our sport.
Yep, look out for those faces at Mixed Nats 2019.
Or 2029.
Well,
or 2039.
Why wait?
Why wait?
Get him young.
Get him in early. You know, last game, Thea Osmond was on the field, and she's just shy of her 17th birthday, so why not?
Why not?
Get those disc skills in early. I know youth leagues are popping up all over the place. There's one just starting in Canberra. I know there's one in Sydney. There's one in Melbourne. So clearly there's an appetite for it. Speaking about appetite, I know Wagon Wheels haven't fulfilled their appetite for breaks. They'll try and get another one this point. But they are going the more upwind of the two directions, so won't be easy for them. Disgraceful really need to steady the ship a little. They looked so good in the first couple of points.
Yeah, I think once Newcastle started playing zone, they might have come a little unhinged. Let's see if they can get it together this time. If that zone, oh, I spoke too soon. That's just a cold drop there, unfortunately.
That drop was just disgraceful from Daniel Chang.
It's a real shame. Nice around pass there, and he shoots for the end zone, and there's a layup block there. Chang gets it back. Pretty good way to redeem there. Unfortunate for Bolton, though. We've got Damiani walking to the disc with Heather on the mark. And that zone is resetting. Big mark there. Centers to Chang. Sends it to Lim for a few meters. Oh, and another cold drop.
Disgraceful, just cold drop execution errors meters out from the end zone.
That hurts to see. You can blame it on the wind. It is blustering around now.
Certainly picking up.
Nothing on the open side. Alexa a break throw, and that's a nice high grab by Beck Crosby. Oh, but I think a pick's been called. Oh, it's a straddle called.
They will discuss the footing situation of Beck Crosby as she caught that disc.
Looks like she'll take it to the front of the end zone. They're just getting the opinion from the game advisor, who was watching, but again, it's non-binding, so the players do make the final decision. So now she's got it at the front of the end zone, looking to punch it in for the goal. Not many options, looking to the dump. She sends it back to Salia. A nice break cut by Heather, but she can't get the pass there. Looking for options, stall count rising. She has to send it, and that's a big block there. Oh, Disgraceful send it to the end zone straight away. That's a huge huck. Body's underneath, and it's taken down by Ryan Black. Looking for options, no stall count on, and not quite a goal, right on the end zone line. And there it is, there's the goal. Vivian Lim sending it to Chang for the goal.
Damiani not wanting to waste time after that turn. Black was bolting to the end zone, and Damiani bombed it to him. Big backhand. And Graceful bring it back 1 to 4-3.
I think that'll be important for them. Stop the bleeding a little bit, get 1 on the board, stop that 4-point run that Newcastle have gone on. Here's another look at that goal. Oh, there's the block. Both players going to ground.
And then that second simple drop from Graceful. Can't make simple errors like that too often and expect to win matches. I'll have to stamp that out of their play immediately.
Possibly the high stakes of this game. It is knockout.
It is knockout and the Suns come back, which is a nice touch. It looks like the wind will stick around. Chris Lavis will pick this one back up. Graceful pull out a zone of their own, though it's a different look from what we've seen already. Lots of players under the disc. Kong smacks it away, but a sliding Howarth will pick it up and then he'll turf that disc straight into the ground. Loudon to Kong, despite the beating efforts of Nathan Innes. Vivian Lim to Loudon, back into space to Chang on the far side. That's where they want to keep the disc in this crosswind, the high side. Newcastle responding with a zone of their own. They've got 3 in the cup, 3 behind, and then a deep. So they find Chang. They're having to give up a lot of meters here. So they are certainly keeping possession. They want to move forward, not backwards. Loudon. And they lose more meters. And now they gain them back on that far side to Lim. Loudon in the center, comes to this near side. Chia's pass popped up, bobbled. And the hands of Metal Clover can't bring it down. Wagon Wheels with another opportunity. Nathan Innes finds it through the center. Very athletic young lad. Young Novocastrians. The disc finds its way to Pekalis. But a nice run-through block attempt from Kalazinski. It looks like we'll get a foul call. They'll have a bit of a chat about the contact, and it's uncontested. But Kalazinski did everything right to be there. And we'll get another look. But we're back to live action here. Katie Lavis finds Innes. Back to Lavis. Gets one through the cut. That's a nice pass to Chris Lavis to Robbie Pekalis. And now the pace slows. They'll dump backwards. This disgraceful cup. It's looking a little bit Swiss cheese-like at times as they find Pekalis at the front corner of the end zone. And Wagon Wheels get another. Take it to 5-3.
Yeah, Newcastle looking pretty unfazed by this zone most of the time. Happy to just work it right on in there. Disgraceful, however, having a little bit of trouble with that one. It could be the wind direction. They were working a little bit upwind that point, but I think Newcastle are looking pretty tight on their offense at the moment.
What we saw in the previous match from F Group against Wagon Wheels was the decision, despite the heavy wind, to play match defense, and it actually worked wonders for the Canberrans. They ended up beating Wagon Wheels very convincingly just because they could play that one-on-one match defense and generate a lot of turnovers. And I'd back Disgraceful as the more athletic of these two teams. Again, got a lot of youth, a lot of young legs, and willingness to leave their feet. So I wouldn't mind seeing a defensive adjustment.
You were saying earlier that Newcastle are loving to put up the big hucks, and it'd be interesting to see if they actually came off in this wind, if there was some match played. There's the pull. Damiani fields it. And it looks like there is some match, and the huck goes up. Oh, having another go at it. Wow. That is brought down in the end zone on a second attempt. It looked like the Newcastle player also macked it to him a little bit. That is unfortunate for Lavis there.
Streetfield ends up with that one off the end of a pretty nice looking shot from Ryan Black.
Oh.
Chris Lavis was late to look up and get a look at the disc. Otherwise, he might have been able to get a more of a D on it. In the end, Streetfield almost gives him an opportunity by bobbling it. But in the end, two hands. And it's 5-4. Graceful keep it within one.
Crawling back a little bit.
Yeah, they've travelled a long way to be here, and they're not willing to give up quite that easily, which is fair enough.
Lavis heading off after that point. Maybe a little bit disappointed by getting beaten in the end zone. You'll see a few Lavises out here in the Frisbee community. Wonder if there are any families with more players.
Yeah, they're a strong Novocastrian stalwart of Ultimate.
We've also got one in Wollongong, fun fact.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're spreading out. They're taking over.
They really are.
Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. If you see a Lavis near you, you know what's coming. Coming to spread the good word of Ultimate Frisbee. That's what they're doing. On that disc, straight through the center to Pakalis, but he drops it. Damiani will pick it up. He's not intimidated by that height mismatch. We'll go crossfield to Lim. She moves it back towards the center. Damiani has a look at his options downfield. Nothing that he likes the look of. Has to go back to Chang. The Wagon Wheels zone defense has been very effective at forcing Disgraceful to go backwards. It's been slightly less successful at forcing regular turnovers. But Chang finds Damiani, and he shoots. A beautiful throw, weighted to perfection, and Avril Tam gets herself on the scoreboard. And going upwind as well, that's twice as precious as Disgraceful break to take it to fives. And it's game on.
Wow, just when you thought that Newcastle was running away with it, Disgraceful answer.
Let's get a look. Damiani puts it on a rope and serves it up to Avril Tam. Whatever you say about the man, he knows how to throw. That one very pretty. Out of the hand. Not even phased by the wind at all. We just saw there one of our #1 fans. We thank her for her support of this stream.
Yep,
Look forward to seeing her for years to come.
Newcastle has their other team also here at Mixed Nationals Division 2 watching on, and I would say at least 5 children also watching. There's the pull deep in the end zone. Oh, and it's a brick, but only just. It's out the back. Got Lavis walking it all the way up, taking his time.
Looks like they've gone back to the zone. I still would love to see a bit of match out of them. It worked so effectively in the last game. But they're sticking to their zone defense.
Disc is in, looking for little options. Hits Pakalis. Loses a few meters. Lavis to Lavis. To Picalis. Whew, nearly falls over on that one. Back to Lavis. Gaining a few meters now. They've stalled a little bit. Losing a few to go. Back to Lavis. Through the middle to Picalis. A few gaps in this zone. Sending it out to the sideline. Back to Lavis. A lot of these grabs are contested. Disgraceful are definitely getting in there. Back to Picalis. And to Lavis. Right on the end zone now. Sends it to Salia, and she reels it in for the goal.
That's another for her. She has been scoring so many goals this afternoon. If you were joining us for our previous matchup between Wagon Wheels and F Group, she scored 3/4 of the Newcastle goals in that game. She just adds to her tally here. That's a beautiful cut from her and a beautiful throw from Chris Lavis. Out in front. Plenty of touch. Uses the wind to help. And makes it look easy, does Kaya Salia. Wagon Wheels take it back to 6-5. Disgraceful. Another shot going upwind. Often in upwind, downwind games, we'll see teams kind of get 2 in a row in terms of breaks. When they're able to go upwind, they're often able to get another going back down, but that's not the case this time. Wagon Wheels get one up. So Disgraceful will have to respond. The onus is on them.
Definitely been some momentum shifts this game already.
That one sailed out. I think that'll be a brick.
Yeah, by about 10 centimetres.
These games are games to 15, and they are 70-minute time caps. So we are at halfway in terms of the time, and we're not quite at halfway in terms of the score. So it's likely we'll have a time cap situation a little later on. But that's just worth keeping in your back of your mind as this game continues to heat up. Damiani finds Chang. Damiani again, inching towards this downwind sideline, not where they want to be. And he sneaks a nice backhand through to Loudon, to Chang. Back to Loudon. Back to Chang. These two doing some nice give-go movement, not necessarily for a lot of meters, but it's keeping the tempo high, resetting the stall count. But Tan makes a run at the end zone, but Damiani doesn't deliver. Instead goes to Loudon. Damiani thinks about the big backhand, doesn't deliver it. Metzelkov to Chang. To Damiani, no. It's just these three at the back with Metzelkova popping in when needed. Chang goes over the top with a hammer. And now the release valve is busted. Damiani goes long. He's got players underneath it. And what a grab. Ren Tan gets his second for the game. Goes up over the much taller Wilson. Howarth, that is. Puts him on a poster.
Let's watch that again. The hut goes up. He had position, but only just, and he did not have the height. But he's got the hops. Look at that grab.
Goes up strong. He takes front position as well, which is crucial here. And sticks up the right hand and comes back down with a disc. And he's stoked about it too.
You would be.
And Damiani, his 4th assist for this match. As Disgraceful pull it back to 6 apiece. As they close in on halftime at 8. You really get that feeling that for first half of that point, it just felt like they were waiting for the opportunity for Damiani to unleash. Just finding him in the right spot with a bit of forward momentum and a cutter heading deep with some separation. That's all you need.
Ball goes up. They're really sailing down with this downwind. And I think that one might be out the back again, unfortunately. Don't know their own strength.
Yeah, it's difficult in wind like this to land it short enough, but really should just be able to put a bit of edge on it and arc it back down onto the turf.
We've got the regular suspects of Lavis, and Innes around the disc. Got Picalis as well. Back to Lavis, back to Innes. This zone possibly having a few gaps through that cup that Newcastle have really been taking advantage of so far. Oh, a bit of contact on that one.
Lots of contact.
Yep, she might have even hit her head in that one.
We'll see if we get another look. Avril Tam. Looks like her head bumped into the body of Howarth.
Howarth looking very bashful about that. I think he knows that's not what anybody wants. The disc comes back in on 0. Looking for options, not many around actually. Would have to lose meters to get it to Lavis, but he does that. Sends it through the cup again, but just can't connect with Picalis there. Disc Graceful get another chance at offense. Some quick movement between Chang. Can't, ooh. There's a bit more contact. Uncontested foul, that's resolved pretty quickly. I think he knows. Sends it back to Black. They're right on the doorstep and, oh! Black sent a nice forehand into the end zone, but that's just another drop there for Lim. Innes picking up the disc, walking it up. They're going to have to battle this zone all the way up the field. Sends it through the cup very confidently. That's a nice low throw. Through the cup again. They're getting these same shots off again and again. Back to Lavis. Faking it out. Through the cup again to Picalis. A nice active mark there. Back to Lavis and across to Lavis.
It's a bit of a family reunion behind the disc at the moment.
And they look pretty comfortable actually. Innes has a go deep, but it doesn't come. Picalis gets a great grab, but there's definitely contact. Looks like nothing's been called. Oh, nice pick up there by Lavis. Spreading it a little bit to the sideline. We're on the low side. Innes wants the hug, but doesn't throw it. Sends a hammer over. Bowled in this wind. And it doesn't come off, just a little bit too high. Let's see if Disgraceful can get this one in. We've got Black picking up the disc, doing it a bit of pointing. Will he send it straight away? A nice high release, backhand, and there's the goal. Oh, big foul called.
Howarth not happy about that at all. Emphatic. To be perfectly honest, on the catch. Looked like he that initiated the contact in my first glance, but they'll have a chat. We might get a bit of a look at the replay as well. And there, Streetfield catches, comes down, and to be perfectly honest, I mean, absolutely there was contact. But I don't think there's much of a foul call to be made. Streetfield was in the air and was already coming back down when Howarth kind of cut underneath him. And it is absolutely any player's right to the space above and below them.
Chat to the game advisor quickly, and it looks like that's an uncontested foul. So the disc is going to go back to Black. It's the beauty of self-officiation.
Oh, and it's an uncontested foul, but it must have been not on the catch, but on the cut itself. Otherwise, the disc.
He sends a flick to the end zone, and it's towed in by Phoebe Kalazinski. That is her first goal for the game, and it's a nice one. She burned her defender, who was nowhere in sight. Wagon Wheel's looking pretty disappointed at that one. Here's a look at that grab again.
Yeah, certainly some contact, but I think the contact that caused the actual foul call was before the cut or at the start of the cut, a push-off perhaps. But in the end, Graceful get the goal.
Yeah, looking at it again, I think that might have been a bit of a miscommunication for Newcastle. Her defender was actually heading the opposite way to the break side.
And Phoebe Kalasinski, more than happy to take that one and put their team within one of the goal of halftime. Graceful so far, sharing the goal-scoring love around. Streetfield's had a couple, Ren Tan's had a couple, Chang and Tam, and now Kalasinski as well.
The assist, however, has been pretty heavy on the Damiani. He's doing a lot of work behind the disc.
And to be honest, no one's really surprised by that. You look at pretty much any roster, and if it's got Damiani on it, you know he's going to be making some throwing plays. As Daniel Chang makes a defensive play. Damiani picks up. He's got Tam going long, and he shoots it crossfield forehand. It's low the whole way, and it will find the turf before it finds Avril Tam. Chris Lavis, he shoots a backhand. Josh Bolton, though, it was very deep when that throw got thrown.
Loudon says absolutely not.
Lavis would have needed to throw that a good 60, 70 yards for any opportunity of completing that pass. The only positive for Newcastle is that Perth will have to bring the disc in on that sideline. And they fire down the line to Loudon. To Che. To Loudon. Tries to sneak it backhand through the middle to Tam, but just throws into the turf again. Lavis indicating with his head where he wants them to go. Salia very deep. Carlos finds Lavis. Lavis will shoot the forehand. He's got Josh Bolton underneath it. He reads it much better than Loudon, and he's just shy of the end zone. Bacala streaming through behind. And the little pop to Josh Bolton, and he's pumped about that one, about that offensive hold. 7 apiece. It's Galaxy Point.
Galaxy Point, that's what we like. Bit of drama for your Saturday afternoon.
And Mixed Nationals is obliging in terms of drama.
Yeah, Bolton, another one of those hopefuls for the under-24 Australian team. We've got a few on the field at the moment. Another one to mention is Kristen Chai. Good luck to everybody.
It's definitely that time of year. It's an exciting time for a lot of players. We wish them all the best.
It's a good sign that there's a lot of youth out there on the field. A nice mix of youth and experience. Also we've got Liam Heather on the wagon wheels, who's playing for New South Wales in the under-22 championships on the mixed side. So he can get a good chance to practice some of that sweet, sweet mixed ultimate.
Heather's been one of the athletic standouts for the wagon wheels. Very quick, very agile, doing a lot of work offensively and defensively for Newcastle this game. And earlier today when they were on the stream. Chris Lavis with the pull.
It sits in the wind, gives Newcastle a nice chance to get down there actually. Will they stick with their zone? It looks like they will. Quite a straight up mark there. Goes to Chang. Up and over. Looking for Chang again. He puts his hands out. Why not me? He gets it back, luckily. Chang gets it back every second pass. Playing with looks like no dump at the moment. Many poppers. Handler's nowhere to be found now. There's some movement back. She sends that one up, and it's a great grab there. Back to Chang. Back to Kong. These two really working it all the way up the field. Such quick movement here. Back to Damiani, and he sends it. Can Chang get there? Oh, it's brought down.
Metzelkova, I think, underneath that, but there is a call on the throw itself. Now it just looks like they're having a lie down in the chat.
Sort of missed that. Look around and there's a few bodies on the ground.
Damiani threw as he pivoted forward and fell. If he called foul on the throw, it's not a problem and the goal will stand. If it was a foul called by the mark, however, they'll be saying that Damiani intentionally initiated contact by stepping into him, but that's not the case. It's a goal.
There you go.
Disgraceful take half, just like that. 8-7. It's a close one here. It's been a game of momentum early on. It was all about Disgraceful as they jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Then Wagon Wheels came back and were leading 5-3. And now Disgraceful take half 8-7. So, question will be at halftime, which team can gather their strength and energy for one more run of momentum into the second half. And as the players take a break, so will we. Don't go anywhere though. We've got one more half of Ultimate to bring to you of day 2 of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships. Don't go anywhere. Close one. How'd your phone call go this morning? Good news? Yeah.
Yay! Thank you.
Who did you call? Yes, we're going to treat. And welcome back to the second half of Game 4 on Day 2 of Division 2 Mixed Ultimate Championships here in Nelson Bay. We've had a great day of Ultimate and we're sure to have one more great half. It's neck and neck as Disgraceful from Perth match up with Wagon Wheels from just down the road in Newcastle. It's 8-7 to Disgraceful. But there's plenty more Ultimate to be played, though only 18 minutes to play it in. Time cap is at 70 minutes and score cap's at 15, so not a lot of time. We're very unlikely to reach the full 15. And we're just chatting about some of the different Ultimate events coming up in the near future for a lot of these players. It's a packed calendar of Ultimate these days, and a lot of players don't get much of time off. I know a lot of single-gender clubs are about to start their training, which is a scary thought. I wonder whether these players will get a break after this weekend.
Surely. Take a few days, rest up.
You've earned it, right?
Absolutely. Games like this is neck and neck. This is the kind of game we want to see. Two nice, evenly matched teams battling it out. Do you reckon either team is going to try some match defense, or do you think that both are just going to die on the hill of zone in this wind?
Well, so far that looks like what they want to do. I maintain that Disgraceful need to pull out some match. Just generally speaking, I think they've got the offensive edge, the athletic edge on Wagon Wheels. No disrespect to Wagon Wheels, but they're definitely an older team. There's plenty of veterans out there, but maybe don't have that, maybe that explosiveness and that agility that a lot of Disgraceful appear to play with. So I'd love to see them take the match, challenge, say, let's go one-on-one. Let's see what you got. Get out in the lane and see what happens with them. I reckon Disgraceful could well come out on top. And we saw it work to such great effect last game with F Group, who really put Wagon Wheels to the sword and smashed them. Nathan Innes now, looking to get things moving again. He's one of the players on Wagon Wheels that does stand out athletically. Lavis will shoot long. Howarth underneath it, but so's Chang. And he'll get a two-handed smackdown. And another opportunity for Disgraceful to go upwind. It'll be Damiani that'll bring it back in. JD to his mates. And that guy with the really good throws to his enemies.
Chang also working really hard on this Disgraceful side. He's really dominating possession on offense, and he's getting blocks like that in the end zone when Disgraceful needs it most.
Pakalis puts the mark on in this zone. He uses his big frame to advantage. Him and Innes at the front. But so far, Disgraceful moving it pretty well. Not held up by much. Leaves Innes on the ground and throws over his body. Black down that far sideline. Finds Kristen Chai. Centers to Chang. Just into the turf. Chris Boy Lavis wants to move things quickly. Backhand. Innes. Black in pursuit. May well be out the back, even if Innes chases it down. Doesn't hold on regardless. They might have a bit of a chat, but I think they go, hey, we're about 10 meters out the back. Doesn't really matter if I bumped you on the way through.
You could see Nathan Innes' head, his eyes just flicking between the disc and the line. He knew that one was going just a little bit too far.
But you can see his pace for a young guy like he is. Pretty scary prospect in the next few years. Once he's playing more regularly in the open age divisions. Damiani will walk it back up. And Bukalis uses his long limbs to try and contain him. Finds Chang. Finds Black. He has a man going deep, but he doesn't take the shot. Instead goes to Metzelkova. She dumps back to Black. So far, the guys doing a lot of the work for Disgraceful at this point. Now they find Metzelkova again behind the disc and have the women downfield. Chang comes this near side. James Deeks as he injects himself for the first time at this point. Chang, Metzelkova, Black, Damiani just rattling through the possessions. And they're now within shooting range. Metzelkova back to Black. To Chang. Black moves up line, but it doesn't come. Goes centers to Metzelkova. She digs it out well. Finds Damiani. He surveys his options. He's always looking to get it done in one. But Black provides a better look. Chang will hop it forwards. Just a meter or two out, Damiani. And he rushes one to Kalazinski. And there'll be a foul call on the throw. We'll see if we get another squiz at it on the replay. Damiani not wanting to slow down at all, move forward, and Chris Lavis was right next to him. He's giving Just a little reenactment of what he feels like happened. I'm not sure if we'll get a replay, but they will discuss it.
Really nice bid there from Kalazinski. She's rubbing her side. I think it might have been a bit painful. Oh, the behind the back.
Chang to Black. He hops it forwards into the cup. Body on body. Metzelkova clutches her face in despair. And Lavis shoots straight down the line the other way. That's flat. That's fast. And Daniel Chang will say, that's out of here. As he slides and gets the block.
Possibly a bit of a chat happening, maybe. Oh, no, just about where to bring it in. Would have been surprised if there was a foul called there.
Yeah, a bit of a play for position, I think, from Lavis. Carlos was going deep, but the choice just to shoot early every time seems to be all about territory. Damiani will bring it back in. Hammers over the top to Chang. Goes that far side. Kristen Chai. And now the zone offense begins again. This washing machine action, players swirling around. Kalazinski and Deeks, the two in the deep space, looking to stretch the field a bit. We haven't seen that shot come very often.
Some sort of calls happening, actually.
The claim is that Ryan Black was standing on the line when he caught it.
Ah. A bit late to talk about it now. Can't really prove it either way.
I'm not sure if we got a look at it on the camera.
Love the reenactment. Very scientific. Let's have a look. Pretty close to the camera, unfortunately.
Oh, it's out of frame.
That's so close.
So, as it creeps back into frame, it looks like it might have been in, but it's hard to tell, of course, on that replay. It wasn't really in the shot. It'll come back. It's a difficult one, though, as we have another look on this angle.
Oh, that's better.
His heel is so close to the paint. So close to the paint. Anyway, this will move back through the hands of Disgraceful as they maintain possession. Chang and Black and Chai continue to work together. Nice hands from Chang to hold on to that one. Kalazinski, he's off to the races, up the guts now. Looks off Kalazinski, it goes to Metzelkova. Damiani, Black, Kristen Chai, nope, doesn't want that throw. Deeks. Metzelkova through the center. Chang to Deeks to Chang, and he'll jump as far as he can.
Staying in position for this chat.
He definitely hasn't moved since he hit the ground. The question will be whether he landed in. We've got a game advisor inches away that will have had a great view of where he landed. It's hard to see from that angle.
Looked pretty uncomfortable for the defender there as well. Thought he might have copped both of Chang's feet on one of his, but he looks all right. Oh, there's an opinion up the back. She's waving, but she's not been seen.
Oh, so it's actually a foul call. It's not an in-out call, I think.
Ah.
That's an interesting thought. What do we think of this one? So he catches the disc, he lands, looks like his feet might have been in, but after his feet hit the ground, he then initiates contact with the Newcastle player.
Landed almost between his legs. Could have been
quite
painful.
The game advisors are there to provide clarification on what the correct rules are and provide a perspective. But they'll also blow a whistle to indicate that it's been some time past and that it will be contested. Which means the disc should go back. If it is an offensive receiving foul. It's with Deeks. They're being very precise about where they want every player to be. And Deeks dumps it to Black and calls a timeout. All that discussion. Interesting choice from Black. But Disgraceful in a great position field-wise and with the disc and ready to extend their lead to 2 points.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they go off this static start. Some teams can do it and just punch it in and get a really quick goal off something like this, but a lot of teams can't make it happen.
See the coaching pair of Chris and Jess Stoddard walk up to the Wagon Wheels team to provide a bit of insight, a bit of wisdom to their troops. It's hard to see on that angle if his foot ever was.
I reckon it was in.
You reckon it was in?
I think so.
And then this last one, that's a fascinating one. I'd love to get a game advisor's opinion on what the rules are there.
Here it is again from a different angle.
The Newcastle player was definitely moving sideways. The question is, Daniel Chang obviously took a big jump, and once he's in the air, he cannot be expected to change directions. Did the Newcastle player sidestep across into his path and therefore initiate the contact himself?
Tough one.
But anyway, that's one for the Peanut Gallery to get involved with. If you're watching the stream, give us your views on that call. Let us know what you think. Obviously, it's the players' rights to choose, or to make the decisions, I should say, but there's nothing more fun than having a strongly held and severely underinformed opinion from the sidelines, which is what we are doing here for a living. So thank you for that. Erin and I have been doing it all day long, and we'll be doing it again tomorrow.
Yep.
So do stay tuned for those games. There was a violation, I think, before play restarted. Black, about 6 meters out. Disc in hand. The cup forms again. Metzelkova cuts to the open side. Chang to Deeks. Back to Chang. To Black. Damiani. Oh, he moved hard. He wanted that. Black shoots on through the center. Oh, gosh, he did some lawn mowing with that throw.
Did it brush the grass? I feel like it might have. We've got players on the ground. There were some good bids for that disc. Everybody wanted it.
Get another look at this. Ryan Black rifles it.
Oh.
It's hard to see on that one. Kristen Chai.
Oh, it was a really good grab. She did well to get underneath it. I feel like it might have bounced.
You think just a blade of grass or two on the edge?
I think so, but luckily the players can't see that, so it'll be up to them.
It'll go back. Probably the most realistic outcome in a call that close.
Yeah.
We'll have another look.
One more time.
Does it touch the ground? Great bid from Newcastle. Doesn't touch it. Kristen Chai. But we're back in live play. Ryan Black. That'll leave you wondering. That'll put you on the edge of your seats. Ryan Black. Lefty back out to Chang. Goes up line. But they'll stay patient. Chang shoots one through. Finds Kalazinski. And that's a goal. Without a doubt.
Wow, that was a very long point. Both in play and because there were a few calls that went to about the maximum amount of time you'd want to chat about anything at all. Both of them ended up contested. So I think Disgraceful will be very happy to get that one.
We didn't get to see all of it last time. Left hand. I reckon that's up. I reckon that's up.
I'm going to retract my call that it was down. I think she does actually get a hand to it before it bounces.
We, of course, have the benefit of super slow motion and 2 different camera angles.
We do.
If only the players out there would also have super slow motion and 2 different camera angles, they would have been able to sort this out.
Yeah. No, I think that was the right call contesting that. But a great grab there for Kristen Chai. She'll watch this back and know that she deserved that goal.
She will. Disgraceful now with a 2-point lead and only 2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes left to play.
This is exciting. A 2-goal margin. It is anyone's game.
Seems pretty likely that time cap will go during this next point. Or during this point, I should say. And what that will mean is we finish this point and add 1 to the highest score and play to that.
That pull goes up. I don't know if it stayed in.
Just judging by where the players are walking to.
Yeah.
We're Looks like it never came back in. They'll take it from the sideline.
It's quite outside in, but that wind just pushed it right on out. It's coming in about a third of the way up. Oh no, even further.
Yeah.
It's past halfway. That's got to hurt.
Loudon will mark Chris Lavis.
Got defense looking very pumped. Disgraceful want to get this block quickly. Not many options upfield. Oh, there he sends it anyway to the end zone. Wow, there's a layout block by Damiani.
Wasn't the most graceful, wasn't the prettiest, but he did get the block. So we get another squeeze at this one.
Already down, and he reaches up and he sends it deep. He's got 2 receivers, 1 defender. Unfortunately, the defender is Nathan Innes, who sends that one out. I think it might not have come back in the field anyway.
No, and that's a trick for young players. Oh, maybe it did, judging by where Lavis will bring it in.
No, I think it might be because Innes touched it. Is that the rule? Am I wrong?
I think you may be. Defensive players are always considered out, I believe. Offensive players, however, if an offensive player jumped out from the infield, touched it before they landed, then it would have been out down there.
True.
But clearly they didn't realise that, or it did land in. Either way.
Thanks for keeping me honest there, Max.
I've done my advanced rules accreditation. Not sure about you, Erin.
How embarrassing.
Don't worry, it took me 4 tries.
Oh, God.
I did get there in the end, and I may have had to Google the answers.
Oh.
And we've got a foul call.
Yeah, Bolton tried to get that one off. It looked pretty funny coming out of the hand, so I'm not surprised there might have been a bit of contact on that. That's an uncontested foul.
And they'll get another go at it.
All smiles. Looks like no bad blood there. Let's see what Bolton does with it this time. It's coming back in on 0. The disc is in. Pucalis, reaches up above his defender 10, but can't quite get there. He gets a hand in. Damiani walking purposefully towards the disc, as do the Newcastle zone. They are resetting, and he puts it deep. There's the block. Nathan Innes absolutely denies that one. Looking a little bit frantic, both sides here. Oh, speak of the devil, there's another huck. Looking for Bolton right on the end zone line. Damiani gets up. Wow. There was the block, but there was definitely contact. Bit of a chest bump there between the two players of pretty similar height.
We'll get another look at that on the replays in just a moment.
I love this trend of just staying on the ground once you've been fouled.
Yeah, having a
rest.
chat while lying down there. Yeah, maybe it's a strategy.
Maybe.
To be perfectly honest, I think both of them probably jumped into each other and had a bit of a chest bump.
Yeah. I'm not sure Bolton would have gotten that disc, but there was contact. Oh, got to send the disc the entire field. That was a huge put, end zone to end zone. Lavis did well to get it there.
Get another look at it from this angle. They both jump forwards and go chest to chest. I reckon that's an offsetting foul from my perspective.
Yeah.
They both initiated contact on each other. And as is often the case in a tough match such as this one, players will, go towards the disc.
They're resetting with Bolton about 5 meters on him, and he sends the exact same throw. Oh.
And despite the best efforts of Bolton, it's well outside.
Yeah, nice bid. He wanted that one, but it was not to be. Damiani walking it back up to where that disc went out, which could be a fair way up.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's lit a fire in Bolton, though. I bet he wants a block now. Getting real low in that zone cup. Disgraceful are moving it very purposefully up the field. Bolton sniffing for that block, can't get it. It goes to Damiani, and he sends it through the cup, up and over.
Oh, it's
There's
tipped.
a hand on it. Oh, that's got to hurt Newcastle. Almost looks like there's a call because Newcastle just standing around in a bit of disbelief for that one.
Nathan Innes hangs his head. He takes his hat off in frustration.
Oh,
He did everything right to get there. Got a hand on it.
You really feel for them.
Damiani rifles one through, seeing a gap.
Oh, it's like a game of tips. I think he even helped that out. Oh, getting a little bit of a pep talk now. You'll be right, Nathan.
Just do it again.
Bottle it, use it.
That's right, be fueled by that frustration. Think to yourself, oh, I've been robbed of a block. I'll go get another.
Yep.
And the game clock on our screen says 74 minutes, which is 4 minutes more than time cap, but we haven't heard a horn here. So we of course are not tournament officials. We don't run the show. We just react to what the players do. We commentate on what we see. And it is, of course, every player's responsibility to keep track of the time and the score. No, I'm kidding. We'll get an update on where things are.
We'll work it out.
And we'll let you know as soon as we know. In the meantime, it looks like they'll just keep playing until someone tells them to stop.
Game advisors say, get the show on the road, please.
Ryan Black signals his readiness with a disc above his head. And he will throw the backhand downfield. Howarth picks it up to Lavis. Graceful in their zone again. Try to sneak a low backhand out to Crosby, but it's not successful. Disgraceful, about 18 yards. Disc in the hand of Ryan Black. That's the horn. So that's time cap.
Oh.
Perhaps. I think I just heard a horn. We'll get clarification.
Yep. That was a block out of nowhere. I think the offensive player thought it was already caught, but...
Kalazinski is claiming it was in her hand, I think. We'll get another squeeze.
Hard to tell.
Hard
it was
to tell.
Very close. Yeah. I wouldn't think she would have control with the amount it looks like to touch it, but you never know.
Does have to be sustained control of a non-spinning disc. Whether that disc was, had that rotation stopped. And the hooter did just go. So we'll finish this point. We'll add one to the highest score after this one, and we'll play to that. So if Disgraceful score the goal, it'll be a game to 12. If Wagon Wheel score the goal, it will be a game to 11.
All of these calls really taking a bit of time. They are keen to chat about it on the field.
They are.
Let's see it one more time. Slow motion. Thank you very much.
She definitely touched at Kalazinski, Phoebe Kalazinski, but I'm not entirely sure where the rotation had stopped.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it had, but I think this call is going to be contested, just judging by how long they've been chatting. It certainly is, and the disc goes back to Black, who calls another timeout.
Wowee. He's up by 3. Not sure what the value is he sees there, but he does call it.
Well, why not?
You've got it. You might as well use it. Ryan Black loves that feeling of calling a timeout.
Power trip.
Indeed, it makes you feel powerful, stopping the whole game.
This wind almost feels like it's coming a little bit more from the right side of the screen. So we've got an upwind, downwind. More chance to yeet it out the back, as they've loved doing, especially on those pulls. Yeah, let's watch it one more time. Here it is.
I think you can feel pretty justified as Wagon Wheels and feeling like you may have been robbed of a turnover there. But having said that, either way, this late state in the game, 3-point deficit, got a lot of work to do. And I'm sure Disgraceful crowd are just saying, let's punch this one in and then get one more and go home. Wagon Wheels, of course, have a lot more work to do.
We have seen Wagon Wheels go from 2 points down to 2 points up. They are definitely capable of getting on a run. Let's see if they can do it again and make this game nice and close.
Graceful set up first, and then Newcastle. Offense, then defense, as is always the way. They'll be playing match. Disgraceful 3 out in a vertical stack. Kalazinski at the front. Kristen Chai at the back. And Metal Kova and Douglas Chia in the middle. Chang to Black. Goes crossfield with the backhand. It's going to hang. Players underneath it, but Douglas Chia uses his pace. It is now a game to 12. It is a game to 12. So the players don't seem entirely certain what it is. And there it is, they realise there's more to go, more ultimate to be played.
That's a lovely breakthrow there. The mark couldn't quite get around to stop that one. Setting up a little bit too much in front. Black says, thank you very much. And caught that defense, Matt Howarth, off guard. So after what was a pretty even first half where they were trading, Disgraceful has definitely been dominant on the board in this second half. Let's see if they can finish it off or if we've got a bit more play. Got Damiani with disc in hand, ready to pull it. Let's see if this one stays in bounds. Up it goes. It looks close to that far sideline. And that's a brick.
The hand above the head from Nathan Innes.
Not a clap, thank goodness.
Yeah, I was about to say one of my pet hates, people that clap. It's not a clap, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. It's not a clap, it's a single hand raised above the head.
Stop the clap.
Thank you, Nathan Innes. Hashtag stop the clap. We're going to see if we can make that a thing.
Yep. Nice leisurely walk up to the brick mark there by Innes. Let's see if the players equally leisurely. Nice. Low backhand, but Chai gets that block. Damiani sends it to her, wants to give her the bookends. And she gets the goal. Has to go to ground for it. What a grab there by Kristen Chai to finish the game.
And what a way to finish. Kristen Chai with a run-through block and doesn't stop running and gets the goal. And what a way to finish the day. Disgracefuls from Perth will secure themselves a spot in the quarterfinals first thing tomorrow morning. So if you want to come back and watch that and watch the pointy end of this tournament, you know where to do it. It's on the Ultimate Australia website, Ultimate Australia YouTube channel, I should say. Thank you very much for joining us today. We've had Aaron Healy and Max Stenstrom in the commentary box, and we'll catch you next time.
Alti.tv